Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Print Theory Podcast. We are in the office.
Yes.
New
In the office.
setting.
On a mega desk.
Mega desk.
We've always dreamt about this.
This is
finally
proof.
come to be.
This is proof that it can be done.
It is.
And most likely could be done in the future.
Could be done.
Nathan's really excited about it. Mr. Producer, sorry.
Mr. Producer is excited about the mega desk.
Mr. Producer. Thinking of Mark Levin.
I'm going to have to get used to this. I might have to get. Would we have people on this
Oh,
side
we don't
and
have
that
to get
side?
used to this. We can't stick with this. This isn't staying.
She said, wait, this is not
Wait.
staying.
Well, I'm Dan, and we got...
Sarah.
I don't think we've ever
That's true.
introduced
Introduce ourselves.
I think we just assume people may know, but just if
It's
you're
true.
listening,
Okay, so you're Dan.
I'm Dan.
Okay.
I do stuff around here.
Do lots of stuff.
Yeah.
More stuff than you should have to.
I don't know. Maybe one day.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege. And you are.
Sarah. And I do a lot of things. It is my pleasure.
And I am Brandon, and I do one thing. And I sell
Very well.
There you go.
Yes.
at times.
At times. It depends.
Depends on the season. All right, guys, we got Impressions Expo this week. You guys are leaving today too. Dan and half the team's leaving today.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's already mentally packed and ready?
I don't think I'm mentally packed or physically packed. I have to go back
And
home.
he's leaving in like, I don't know,
Yeah.
3 hours.
hour. Yeah, a couple hours, something like that.
We're about to go learn everything that we can, so that way our customers don't have to.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that? You guys
Yeah.
ready for that?
It's always a fun time. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of, if you've never been, and this year will be fun because we're taking staff that
A lot of first timers.
have never, it'll be their first time. But it's really when you go to it for the first time, it kind of just blows, the lid off of anything you thought possible with apparel. It's like, oh my
agree.
gosh, you don't realize how big the industry is, or just, I don't know. It's a really amazing place to go see. And a show to walk for sure. Yeah.
It definitely. I love it. I love it. It is such a fun time. I look forward to it every year. It's just so much fun. You go and it's like you build some team morale and you get to hang out and some good, company team bonding, and we have a lot of talks, a lot of late night talks, which is
pizza.
awesome. We do have lots of pizza. We would only have pizza if it was up to Dan, and it is. So hey,
It was one of the
good.
contingencies
You-
this
you
year is
only
that
get
we're
that
not
pizza
having
down there.
pizza
That's
more
true.
than one
That's true.
time. That's it.
Buratino's is fire. I'm
Yeah.
excited for
Yeah.
that. We have
Yeah.
to. That's tradition.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
tradition.
for sure.
And I don't know what else is here.
I've never had Buratino's.
Wait,
so
She's
it's-
not here. She's not
No,
here.
so in all the
time.
times that you guys have went, you go to Buratino's first because you can't wait.
Yeah.
And then nobody wants to eat that pizza again. Not because it's not amazing, just because it's weird to eat the same exact thing 2 days in a row. Which means that by the time I get there,
I don't think
the
it's
called
Buratino's
leftovers.
is off the table. Yeah, I did. There was leftovers in the fridge, which, if you know our family, we're, not necessarily
Not
lovers
huge
of
on
leftovers. So I'm not the meal prepper, I could never meal prep and then eat that food 7 days later. I can't do it.
I like the idea of
can't
it.
do it.
I don't think I could do it either, but I like the idea of it.
But you guys freeze a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
You freeze it and then you undo it, don't you?
like
Like
frozen
muffins or
rice
like-
bowls.
Don't you do like an egg thing or something?
Oh yeah, that was fire. Okay, that was good. That's good. Yeah, Sarah, my wife is named Sarah also,
I know.
and
Isn't that
we got
wild? We have a lot of Dans and a lot of Sarahs.
a lot of Dan's and lots of Sarahs. And yeah, she makes these like croissant sandwiches with eggs and cheese and ham, and she'll make them in one day or in one morning, and she'll freeze like 5 of them, and then I wake up, whatever, and I'll put it in the microwave or something, and I'm not gonna lie, those are so
Pretty
good.
good.
Oh, those are so good, especially with the little air fryer. Oh man, sorry, I'm getting even hungrier.
I'm going to take your word for it. Hey, I saw a video yesterday of somebody taking, and this was like a private chef for an NFL football player.
Ooh,
she got the blueberry cream cheese Costco Danish new looking things, and she cooked it in an air fryer. And she was like, this is like 1,000 out of 10. And I thought, maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I'm not putting it in an air fryer. So I'm not getting that crisp and that crunch. You know, it just tastes like a soggy croissant.
I can see that.
I don't know. Maybe we should try that at the show. We'll take the air fryer. Christine will be down.
Air fryer.
Wait, they have an air fryer.
Do they?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's been a year. Maybe they do.
yeah.
Maybe.
I guess we'll find out. Okay, guys. When you think about last year's trip, it's weird. It's happening. It's happening. When you think about last year's trip, what's like the first moment that comes to mind? You think of Impressions Expo trip, ISS trip 2025. Don't think too hard about it. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
I think every time I go to these shows, I go to make deals. Ooh, it's my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing to do in the whole year. I love it. And last year, we made
3 deals.
great deals.
Yeah, we made pretty good deals.
We made great partnerships
On the
with
last day.
advanced imaging.
Yeah.
On the last day, like
on the last day.
hours.
I think, you know, you always
You're
go
right.
in and you're like, okay, this is what we're looking for. This is what we're going to shop for. And then I do my exploring on Friday. I start having conversations. I make sure that we got all our numbers in place. And then Saturday, I close. And man, that was such a rush because I think I got into the show at like 9 a.m. and just immediately started making the pit stops. But I was trying to construct a deal to acquire 3 different pieces of equipment inside of a budget that didn't quite make it all fit. And we really needed them. We needed all 3, you know, to work for the shop. We really needed all 3. And it worked. It worked. And it was amazing. And man, what a game changer of a year.
It's definitely changed.
The first
everything.
year, we don't clean screens by hand. Thank you, Blue Water. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Blue Water.
Yeah.
Your
Blue
equipment
Love
is
you.
amazing.
Shout out.
And our whole production team thanks you.
Yeah.
It makes their job way like they love. It's not like, oh man, I have to clean screens for the next 2 hours or 3 hours. It's
And
like,
it cut back a whole bunch of time too.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
they're more productive out there in the shop than just in a room cleaning screens.
they can focus on what we like to do and becoming the experts
Yeah.
and experts in print.
Yeah. I do think it totally reallocated that time to creativity, which was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Somebody had asked in like the comments recently on a post on Instagram about the Blue Water. And I was like, you know, the thing with this machine is it's not just that it's consistent and it makes the job quicker. I mean, you can literally clean screens without having somebody standing there manning the machine. You know, if somebody's just popping in, feeding one through, like they can do multiple things at one time while cleaning screens, which was never possible before. And they do it faster. But I think the probably one of the biggest things is this year, if I look back over the whole year, this is the first year that I don't think we lost any garments to pinholes or screens just releasing.
Breaking.
You know, with the occasion of like 1 or 2 where the screen actually like broke itself, but because the quality of our screens were so much better because they were so much cleaner and it was so consistent, we saved a lot of time on press. We saved a lot of time rerunning garments. Like it was, if we made
That's true.
mistakes on press, they were our mistakes. They weren't something like the screen gave way
Yeah.
or the emulsion release. So that was a win.
That's true. Dan, what about you? What's one moment that you like that you think about when you think of ISS Impressions Expo 2025?
I think for a fun moment would
Okay.
be when I think didn't we play all rock paper scissors everyone and
Yes,
then it
we
came
did.
down to I think you and Dan,
Me and Dan
and then
for where we were going to eat dinner,
yeah for where we're gonna eat dinner and then he got to pick where we ate.
and he picked.
I was like, that's pretty cool.
What did he pick? Pizza?
I think
Or
he
Italian?
picked sushi
Or
first, but then he changed his mind to Italian.
Because Dan
Or
was
no,
like,
I think
"We're
Yes.
not
he
eating
went.
sushi."
I think you
It
wanted
was.
sushi,
I
And it
wanted
was like
sushi.
the
and I
third
think
night
he
of
wanted
Italian.
Italian, and then we ended up doing the Italian. But
And it was really
I
good.
thought that was fun. It
That
a
was
creative
cool. We
way
got to do
for,
that.
like,
Let's do it
people.
again. Let's do it again.
To be like, all right, we're going wherever you're going.
As long as we eliminate whatever we ate the night before. Like if you eat pizza, you can't have Italian the next night.
Hey, it's whatever you want.
It's whoever wins, whatever they want.
This is where Dan's gonna break out his rock, paper, scissors skills.
Dan's going to practice in the
Put
mirror.
us all to shame.
Darn.
Hey, he made it all the way to the final round last year.
It's true.
No, little Dan. That was little Dan that won.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we won't talk about that anymore.
I think. Let me think of my moment when I think of last year. There's a lot. It was fun. We did a lot of like on the floor podcasting, a lot of on the floor media content, which was a lot of fun. Sorry for Nate for having to lug around a lot of the stuff, but it was really cool, and we got to have a podcast with Brian Richards.
Yeah,
That was fun. We've never done a podcast, and that's probably as I'm workshopping this in my mind. Right? That's actually probably my favorite moment. That's the moment when we had the podcast on the floor in the rock activation area at ISS.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that we would have the opportunity to do that, and that was cool. That was really fun to get like set up, and then people start like walking by, like, what the heck is going on? And we're like, yeah, and our branding is like on point with rock branding, and it's like,
Yeah, it was cool.
this is what we got to do, and people were like, oh my gosh, like you guys are partnered up with rock. It was really cool. It was cool to be able to do that and just have a awesome talk and just do that there on the floor.
Yeah,
That was cool. That's probably that's what I remember.
that's good.
I
It
really
was
like
a good
it.
moment.
Okay, what's one thing? I got a couple back-to-back questions. So what's one thing you learned last year that still impacts our shop today? Taken from either that trip or something that happened at the show.
I think for me, and it resulted in us buying the CTS machine, but the level of detail was attainable with that like truly was attainable on press. You know, sometimes just because you can print and expose a screen doesn't mean that you can actually make that screen go on press. And so I think working with advanced marketing to hone that machine in and then actually seeing it perform was I didn't realize that, like, I don't know. It was a level of quality that was pretty mind-blowing to me. And so that's definitely something that has changed our business for sure.
I agree with that. I mean, that was definitely, because we didn't find out about that machine, the CTS machine, till the last day, right?
No.
Or
we had.
I didn't see it till last day.
So the way I remember.
Oh, I remember. Say it.
Was
Say it
we were pulled into that booth when the guy was like, "Oh, Print Theory." I think he started talking to Dan or Ryan.
Nate.
Or Nathan.
Talk to Nate.
Okay. And so he was like,
he was
I know you guys. Like, I've seen you guys around on social media and stuff. And so we go to the booth and they're showing us this machine that prints it directly to the screen and then it exposes it and it's all done, like within 1 or 2 minutes. And we got all the stuff. And I remember when Sarah came the next day or two,
You got to see this.
we were like,
machine.
"Oh, you got to see this." I showed her the thing. She's like, "Nah," I was like,
Yeah. I was like, guys, it's
She
a
didn't really
CTS
believe
machine,
us.
okay? There's
She
nothing
didn't really
magical
believe
about
us.
it. We know
And
about these
then
things.
The guy from New York took her over there. Was like, "This is what you got to buy," you know. And it was that machine.
Well,
and it
and I think like you knew when we were talking to him, I can't remember his name. I want to say his name
yeah,
was
I
Paul
have him on Facebook or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll find him this year. We'll find him.
Shout out Paul or whatever your name is.
It's something.
He was telling
Has to be
us
something.
about this machine, and it just, I mean, he just made it sound amazing. And then he was like, "Look, I just want to show you." And I'm looking at Dan like, "See, Dan, like we'll look at your machine next,
Yeah.
but like I think there's like, let's just go look at maybe there's something here." And then the guy takes us to the same machine that you guys saw, and you guys were like, "This is what we've been telling you about. Like, this is what we're saying."
Yeah.
So that was.
Just blew my mind. It blew my mind when we saw that, like when he was showing the screen of I think it was like it was something an artist could come up with, and it was like an older aged man kind of smoking and stuff like that. But it was like so good, and I was like, "This is one screen. You can do this."
Well, and
I know
I
that was
think
a
the
thing.
shocking thing was the screen was exposed and washed out at 90 LPI, which is like unbelievable. So to lay eyes on a screen and be like, look, I know that I can coat. Like, I know I can coat it in a way that's going to achieve that. But getting the washout at that level is very difficult to do. And man, it was pretty cool.
It was. I loved it. That was probably the thing in my mind.
Well, it's changed so much. Of our shop time.
Yeah.
Like the process for one job now to get from, print instead of printing film and then having to register it and then expose it and then wash it out. Like we could do 3 jobs in the time it would take us to do one. Probably more, depending on what the job is. But
I think that was I'd venture to say that was the piece of equipment that changed everything for art. And besides, like, we added the Tajima, which helped cut down on our turnaround, but that was probably the most impactful piece of equipment because that changed our process, our turnaround, our detail. It changed the way that I then now pitch stuff on the sales side. It changed.
I think
everything.
definitely for the sales side, like it was the most
So
impactful
cool.
piece of equipment because it expanded your ability to sell and offer things. And then like our turn time on printing got better. I think every shop is trying to get to a place where they're fully automated. We're like a scoop coder away from being fully automated on our print side, which is maybe the thing to explore for this next year.
Write that down.
But certainly those 2 pieces, the Blue Water and the CTS, absolutely transformed and bettered our production.
I love it. See, and I know every year we're always like, man, we come back better than when we left. And so what's one moment that you guys realized, like, dang, this is why we do these trips?
I mean, I think probably like, I think one of the benefits of taking our team is that they can be there to watch us assess and do some of the decision making live. So like, I'm sitting with Dan and Ryan and then, all of us, and we're talking about making this enormous investment into these 2 pieces of equipment that radically change their daily life in the print shop and make it for the better. And yet, like, it's still a huge investment. And so being able to sit with them and like them kind of understand that decision-making process and be a part of it and speak into it, I think it just creates a lot of value for our team. I think they understand, like, we care about what they think. We care about them. We want their jobs and their daily life to be better, but also, like, we want to make smart choices as a business.
Yeah.
And so I think, I don't know, I just think in terms of like the sense of team, it's a really positive thing. I don't know. I think it just glues our team together when we do these trips.
yeah.
I think I totally agree with that, actually. I love it. The whole team bonding. You're in a house. Is there something about just like, we could get hotel rooms and it would work. It's a work trip, right? But it's something about like, we're all in the house together and, we're waking up, doing breakfast together. We're hopping on our laptops. We're going to the show together. And yeah, we split up, throughout the day, or some of our team goes to classes. Some goes like on the show floor. But there's just something about the togetherness feeling of that trip that really does solidify the camaraderie and the team morale and the bonding that the talks that just result in us spending time together, and the memories that are made are like really cool that we talk about throughout the year. We're referencing different stuff. Every trip we come back with new funny sayings or stuff that just like it just happens, or like just funny moments that I remember, like when we're in Dan's truck in the parking lot waiting to leave the parking lot from the show, and we were laughing about something, and Christine starts laughing, and we're all laughing and joking. It's like stuff like that, and I'm like, man, I love being on this team. Like I love, because you don't get that a lot. You don't get that at anywhere else, really.
The water bottle, Christine's water bottle.
Magically refilling.
Okay. Yeah, funny story. So Christine is drinking water by the gallon on this trip. Like she does this all the time. You know, she's like Stanley'd up. So if you see Christine, she's gonna be walking around with one of those quart-sized jugs of water.
Oh yeah.
You know, really encouraging us all to hydrate. So
I'll say good for you, man.
she went through a gallon of water in like the evening. So she came with 4 gallons of like bottled water. And in the morning, she drinks her gallon of water at night and she sets her empty jug outside her door. And we kind of all thought that was funny because we were like, what is this? Like, is she waiting for housekeeping to fill her jug or what? You know? So we were kind of joking about it. But then Dan was like, I'm going to fill it. So Dan went down and he filled her jug. And when we got back to the house, she says, you guys, somebody's been in the house. And she's like, I've checked everything. I don't think they took anything, but they filled my water jug.
They didn't take anything, but they left me with more.
They left me with more.
I don't know what to think about it.
Oh, it was so funny. We just let her go for a while on that. And then finally, I think Ryan and Dan were like, hey, we filled your water jug when you left. Oh, it was so funny.
I think about when Nate was, you were finalizing the podcast or finalizing a video for the podcast or for social media from the podcast, and you had clipped a little part of the sound where it sounded like I made a sound of something. I don't remember what it was, but I made like a high pitched sound or whatever, and it was like this funny thing. Like, oh man, like this was a funny sound. And then all of a sudden, it turns into a clipped version that then little Dan makes into a ringtone, and then puts on his phone, and then it's just a ringtone of.
We need to find that.
You got to find it. It's on social media somewhere, right here.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Sorry, I can't do that sound. Anyways, but it was so funny. It'd be like, oh my gosh, and then I was like, send that to me. I want to put that on and I literally put that on my alarm for the next morning. To wake up to, and it was terrifying. It was terrifying to wake up to that, but I did it, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" Little stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, fun takeaways.
It is. Okay, what feels different about this year compared to last year? Is there anything you can kind of like pinpoint?
I don't think anything feels different.
I mean, we have bigger vision, we got clearer systems, we got a stronger culture, we got definite new goals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
new goals.
Oh yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, shoot, I'm going to the show with a different head on my shoulders to figure out like how can I achieve these, for lack of better words, or using the words from the Science of Scaling book that we're reading together, setting these impossible goals, like using time as a tool and not a reality.
The filter, yeah.
And it's like, that's so challenging. But as I've been thinking about it the past couple nights, I'm like, okay, like what's the mentality of going into the show? Not just to have fun and find some new cool things and find SKUs, but like, okay, how am I going to come back from the show with tools or with ideas to make my everyday life, or to make sure that in the everyday life back from the show, we're hitting these goals.
Yeah.
Because there's so much stuff. We're going to see all the new trends. We're going to see any new equipment. Like the last 2 years was heavy DTF.
Yeah.
Or sorry, DTF
heavy.
and DTG.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if we're going to see that trend back a little bit, because DTF is good, but it's good for small quantity. It's not a volume thing. And so I know that I've seen them try to apply it that way or make it that way, but it's really not an application that you want to use in place of screen printing. So it was interesting to me to see the show go so heavy on DTF. And I think probably because, printing a lot of colors is can be costly if you're doing lower quantities.
Yeah,
That's true.
But I think, this book has challenged us a little bit.
A lot of it for me.
It's challenged us a lot. And it changes my frame of mind going into this show, because I think in previous years I've been more of like, let's expand what we do, let's expand our offering, and let's come home with a new form of decoration. And I think this time I'm going into the show saying, hey, who do I need to network with to take the form of decoration and to take the things that we do really, really well as a company and take them to the moon? Like, how do I 10X the stuff that we do really, really well?
Yeah, right.
Because the reality is 10Xing the areas of this business that are profitable, that are good for our team. They're not just good for us.
Yeah.
They're good for our community. If this company 10Xs, it's great for the Central Valley. It's great for Kingsburg. And so I think my frame of mind is changing a little bit about, like, rather than trying to expand and the offering, it's more about honing in. What do we need to expand in its depth and size and volume that is already here, that is really, really, really good?
Yeah, I get it. And like last year, like we're at the show, and it's the biggest show in our industry, and we go and there's companies from every part, essentially, of the world, and then also from every part of our industry, from equipment to apparel blanks to new technology to inks to like everything. And like last year in my mind, I think I was thinking of like, what are some new brands with that? That's every year. Like, what are some new brands that we can find? But also I was like, what are some new services we can what are some new things we can branch into to expand our portfolio? But I think this year I'm not. We've got to after talking more about this book, and as we're starting to refine like who we are, I think in my mind we have a clearer focus of who we are and the services that we offer. And so I'm not going to be like, how can I expand our portfolio? I'm just being like, how can we double down on who we are and what we do best? How can I become the best at this? And we're talking about, we're the experts in print, and we're trying to position ourselves at this stuff. It's like, okay, how can we maintain and build on our claim to we position ourselves as the experts in our industry for merchant apparel?
Yeah.
And so I'm going with like, I'm going to ask questions a little bit differently to certain brands, and I'm going to try and find how we can be more competitive, or how we can grow better relationships and networks with some of these apparel brands that'll help us on our wholesale side to sell. And so I'm excited. I'm really excited for this year.
Yeah. Maybe we can make some connections too with for Merch on a Mission. Like, just throw it out to some of our key people and be like, hey, how can we partner? Or how can maybe that's something we talk with our distributors or something like.
Right.
Like, what can we do?
I love that
area. So that might be cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. We're doing that.
At least even just to start the conversation, and hand out.
Absolutely.
So.
That's kind of on my list of goals, was to secure some partnerships for Merch on a Mission, because that is rolling. We are selling hats on this hat sale. Pow! And
That's the first one of the
and we are paying for packs. And so this is a big, huge driver for us here. So just kind of brings some purpose to what we do. Well, I feel like we always had purpose, but it just formalizes it, and it makes it tangible and quantifiable, and that is exciting. So
I like it. Is there anything that you're like hoping to discover this specific year, either whether it's products or SKUs, or is there a trend that you've started to see on like social media that you're like, I think at the show I'm going to look for this, or I think we're going to see a lot more of this at the show this year. Is there anything that you're like seeing or any trends?
Not that I've seen. I really don't know why I'm going. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what? Actually, I don't want to go.
Nate, clip that out.
No. Yeah, I think I'm just open to see like what's there, what's new. I don't know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah.
That's honest.
It's really a different year. I mean,
I think every year we've gone to like upgrade the shop or to do something like with a purpose.
Yeah.
To look at something, and I don't feel like this year we have like like something that we want to buy for the shop, but it's almost like, okay, let's go see what there is and what's happening. I think I want to look at like patches, like a few more companies, and see like what other options there are. Just different stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like for years we were trying to get to a place where we had kind of secured all the bells and whistles for the business.
Yeah.
And now we kind of have this foundation and this base of saying, hey, we have what I consider to be the best equipment the market has to offer.
Oh, yeah.
In screen printing and in embroidery and in wide format print. And so we kind of have this base now. So now it's really, for me, about working on the relationships, networking, so that we can take that base and grow it. You know, before it was really hard for us to expand and really push as a company when we were missing some of the capabilities.
Yeah.
But we're not lacking the capabilities now.
Yeah.
Now it's about relationships and marketing and expanding what we have and growing it. And so it is a very different mentality for me going in. I think though, like for a lot of our team, especially first time attenders, they're going to have their minds blown, you know, which is going to be so fun for us to watch because we all live that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that, I mean, like for me,
that's an exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, and that fits into like our, I don't know, bigger picture of like, we talk about big picture of our company and like, we started talking about at the end of, or beginning, it was either end like December of 2024 when our last family breakfast we had, or meeting, whatever it was that we had when we were talking about like we've been in business a decade now. What's the next decade look like?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. Like, what does this next decade bring? Like, we have Merch on a Mission that we're starting in our second decade of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, to see how far we've grown in one decade, to be like, dang, what does the next 10 years look like with Merch on a Mission, customer experience, shop growth? So, like, if there's a concise way of saying it, being the founders and the owners, and you're in it day to day, but you also were the ones who started this pushing ink in a room in your house. Like, how does this trip fit into that bigger picture? Into looking into the next decade of Print Theory.
I think like you said, like the new people that are going to experience it, I feel like that will get them excited about the industry. And, you know, the hope is that they stick with us and they like grow to be a part of this. Like they're already a part of it, but like an even bigger part of Print Theory and what we do. I know I think it's our 5th or 4th year going. Yeah. We didn't even know that it existed until somebody told us about it.
Well, they didn't have it during COVID, so then maybe it's the 5th one.
Well, we went that year, COVID 2020, and I think we went the year before.
Oh, we did go 2020, and then the world shut down. Yeah. It was the next year. I don't think that we went. Man, how does this trip fit into the bigger picture? This is the first trip to this expo that is fundamentally different in intention for me.
That's good.
So I I have totally different. Before, like I said, we were trying to secure all the capabilities inside of this business to kind of get that foundation laid. And now the foundation's been laid. And so it's just fundamentally for me mentally different going in terms of my objectives, which I think are very indicative to us kind of crossing over a little bit. And it just happened to land on 10 years in business. So one decade to the next, I think the second decade's going to look very different. And I'll look back at the end of the second decade and say, year one of this decade of business was literally like just a start of something totally different. And I think the most exciting thing about this all for me is that I can remember the days of pushing ink in the garage in a 115-degree garage. I can remember, I don't know if any of you guys have
Washing
ever
out screens
experienced.
in the little bathroom. Oh my gosh.
We destroyed that
All
shower.
the embroidery on just one little machine.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. But like most people cannot survive the first 5 years of abuse a business is going to throw at you. Like you take on a business, your first 5 years is just going to be, if you knew how hard it was, you likely would never sign up for it. So I think for me, I kind of view decade 2 as like compounded interest, right? Like if you look at an amortization schedule, like on a Roth, the first like 10, 15 years that you're investing, it just seems almost like you're getting nowhere. And then all of a sudden something shifts in the amortization and you can just see like bam, 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 it just starts compounding. And I think that's what we will do. I think our growth will compound and it will be totally different. I think we will accomplish in 2 years what we spent 10 years trying to attain. We'll do maybe one. If we hit our goals this year, we'll do in 1 year what we spent 10 years trying to accomplish. So if that's any kind of like representation of what I expect the trajectory of the company to do, and I believe we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do it. I'm very excited. Dan's slightly terrified. And I'm like, let's do it.
No, I'm actually really. I'm excited. As you're talking, and this is maybe I believe. I think as you're talking, this may be a horrible example, but I'm going to give it.
Oh yeah,
Like-
that's bad.
I'm trying to form it in my mind. I'm like, I don't know if this is good or not, but it makes sense in my mind. At least it clicks in my mind. Like think of this. Or as you're talking, see this company as like, or the first 10. See it as a. As a child, when you talk about like your company is like your guys' baby that you birthed and nurtured and stuff, and you think of the first 10 years of a child's life, any human's life, are really just learning what it means to be alive and learning to talk and learning to walk and learning fire hurts. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
And then years 10 to 20 are the formative years of like, that is where personality is built. And 10 to 20 is you are becoming who you are. You're finding your identity. You're also, when I work with, maybe use this example because I work with teenagers a lot, but like these are the important years of finding who you are.
Yeah.
And as you're talking and we're having this conversation, I'm like, oh snap. Like years 10 to 20 for us are really like, this is gonna show who Print Theory is.
Yeah.
And we're finding we're in year now 11, and we're like, we got merch on a mission. We now are figuring out the science of scaling, and we are like, who are we?
Yeah.
Like we knew kind of, and like I know my name, and I know kind of for the most part about what we do,
Yeah.
and we're just learning it. Now we're like, I know my name. I know what it is. I'm figuring out our identity now, though, and I'm going to start crafting out what this looks like. And so I'm like, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next 10 years. And like I told you guys when you guys hired me, like we're here for the long run. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this is going to go for Print Theory.
It's fun. Building a business. Have you guys ever seen the Instagram reel of the little girl? And she's on a roller coaster and like it takes off and she's like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, and she's like horrified. And then she's like, yeah. That's how business is. Sometimes you go from being super excited to super scared.
Yep.
But in the end, when the ride slows down, you're like, wow, that was incredible.
Let's do it again.
And you want to go back on. And you want to go
Bigger
back.
and
Is the
better.
thrill.
Yeah.
I need a
There
bigger
is
roller coaster.
a total thrill. You kind of have to be a thrill junkie a little bit.
You do.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
I do not doubt that.
No, I think the thing that makes me most nervous about defining, really narrowing in and saying, hey, as a company, if we're going to accomplish the goals that we have for Merch on a Mission and for our community, we're going to have to narrow our focus in on the things that serve those goals best. I think the thing that scares me the most about that is that perhaps some of our customer base isn't going to understand, or they're not going to like, why aren't we doing this anymore? It's like, guys, I'm sorry, but I can't possibly accomplish these goals in this structure as a company. If we're doing like, we've kind of slowly started to inch our minimums up and do some of this because the way
to
that
raise our
we've
floor.
built, we really have to. And it's I think my greatest hope in all of it is that our community understands and our customer base understands, like, hey, we are totally here to serve you and we care for you and we want you to journey with us. This is something that, like, these changes that we make, we have to make in order to accomplish these goals. And I think at the end of the year, when we can stand, God willing, on a piece of dirt that we're about to break ground on and say, we've made this incredible impact with Merch on a Mission, I hope people will look back and say, man, that only happened because we narrowed our focus, we raised our floor, and we spent our time networking and building quality relationships that help us achieve those goals.
Man, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Even though my voice doesn't feel like it. But I'm super excited. I'm super excited for the trip because we know we talked about it for the past, I don't know, however long we've been doing this. It's not just the trip, right? It's part of who we are. It's how we continue to serve better. We learn, we grow, and it's going to allow us to, through the camaraderie and through the morale and through the team bonding and through the learning and through whatever else comes out of this trip, it's how we give back more and better serve our community. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much for listening. Is there any last things you guys want to add?
No, I'm good.
No? Awesome. We're going to be doing our
a lot of
Long
fun.
Beach recap trip when we come back.
Yeah.
So let's be prepared for that. I am
Maybe
excited.
We'll have a few guests on.
Huh?
Maybe we'll have a few guests
Maybe we'll have a few guests on.
so that way they can share.
I'm going to throw it out too real quick. Foreshadowing. I don't know, whatever it is. I think at the trip, we're going to see a lot more starting trend wise to go back to like lighter weight stuff.
Really?
I don't know.
It
I've been
went
starting
so
to see
heavy
some.
garment
It went
stuff.
so heavy the past
Yeah.
2 years.
14
And
ounces, 10 ounces.
And I think they'll still see. I think we'll still see thicker collars and a focus on like higher, more durable quality of garments. But I think we're gonna start seeing the shift. I'm just forecasting it. We'll see if I'm right.
I don't know.
That's
Disney,
just slightly lighter.
Disney hired the new guy for their
The 100s from the hundreds, Bobby 100, Bobby 100.
yeah, for their designs and for all their
Creative
stuff.
director
and his
globally.
is more street style.
Yeah, I mean
So
street
that-
streetwear style, but like his garments for the hundreds, they're even though they're like boxier and thickers. I only know because I've bought a couple hundreds. They're like 6 ounces, 6.5, which are still like heavier weight than
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But that's a
But
good
they're
sweet spot
not
for
like
me. Like
10
6 to
ounces.
6.5.
Yeah, between 6 and 10, I would say.
To give our listeners who don't know what we're talking about when we say ounces some frame of reference. If you took a yard of fabric and you rolled it up in a ball and weighed it, it would weigh 6 ounces, or it would weigh 10 ounces, or it would weigh 4 ounces. A lightweight t-shirt, 4.5 ounces. Standard, 5.5 to 6. Heavyweight is like 7 and up.
It's like your car.
Absurdly heavyweight. It's like
10, 12, 14.
yeah.
And then you got like the 14-ounce hoodies.
Yeah.
I think there's been a little bit higher.
I'm going to bring my T-style 14-ounce hoodie
Oh, there you
to
go.
the trip.
Yeah.
Wearing a blanket.
Yeah. It is kind of,
You're gonna be
I like the
cozy.
style. It's just heavy.
yeah.
Okay, that's my last one for sure. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you all for listening. We're excited to do our recap the next time we speak to you. Follow us on social media and check out our new website that is just launched. We spent many, many, many hours and months rebuilding this, and we have already gotten so much traction from it. But go out and check us out at www, or is it www anymore?
You can either with or
www.printtheory.com or just printtheory.com,
Yeah.
wherever you're searching. But check it out. Go like us and give us 5 stars on Google.
Yeah.
That would be
Great.
awesome. It really helps us out. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Looking forward to talking to you guys later.
See you soon.
Later.